Okay, so we have we're gonna make these marine vet shirts. So I've got a Cricut project link, and I'm gonna take you through how to do this. So I'm gonna click the link, and that is going to. So we're gonna make these shirts. So instead of hitting make it, let's hit customize because there's a couple steps that we need to do this correctly. Okay, so I'm gonna click customize. Okay, and it's gonna open up this project. And let's zoom out a little bit here so I can see. So down here there's a little zoom feature, and since it's so big, I need to zoom out to see this. So I wanna see this on the shirt so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna apply this template. I'm just gonna say t-shirts. This, and I'm gonna give myself some black t-shirts by hitting this color and selecting black. Okay, great. Now I can see what these t-shirts are gonna look like. Okay, this looks cool. Now I want to do this one thing at a time. So I'm gonna do the hard part first, which is gonna be this back bit. So in order to print just that, I'm gonna hide the front. So you can do that with this little eye here. It's gonna hide that, right? And so when I say make it, it's only gonna make what you can see. So when I hit make it, I'm gonna just get the back, and that's what I want. So I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna grab it, I'm gonna click on it and grab it and put it in the middle because I want it to be in the middle because I'm gonna make a template out of this. It's gonna be a stencil, and I want that stencil to be far away from the edges so I can set it straight onto my screen. Also, the next thing I wanna do is I wanna mirror this so it's backwards. That's gonna print out correctly on the shirt. So that's all ready to go. Now in the physical world here, I need to take my Cricut machine and take the USB end and plug it into my computer. So I'm gonna plug it into my computer. So now my computer can talk to my machine. I'm going to turn the machine on. And I'm also going to open the machine so that I can work with it. Okay, great. And now I'm going to cut this vinyl. But I need to prepare my mat first. So you should have one of these that came with the Cricut. And now I'm going to cut. I've got a roll of vinyl here, and I'm going to cut off about 12 inches of this. So there's my vinyl action. Now I'm just going to lay this down. This board is slightly tacky. Okay, there we go. Now on my computer, I am going to hit continue. The machine connects. I set my material. I'm going to slide this in as far as I can go, and then I'm going to hit this flashing light here. It's going to suck it up, and it's ready to print. And Now this other button flashes and I can hit this. And I'm going to pull this away from the wall a little bit so that there's enough space behind it. Okay. So we'll see how this cuts. Okay, so I've taken my thing out and now I'm going to weed it. Alright, take your time in doing this because it'll take a while. It's a little complicated, isn't it? I know this thing doesn't cut perfectly, but start with the outside. And there's our first piece. So easy bits. So basically what we're doing is we're taking out where we want to print white through. And I know I'm using white vinyl, so it makes it a little bit more complicated. You'll be using black vinyl probably, so it'll be a little bit easier to see. If you have that light light pad, you could probably put this on that light pad and you'll be able to see the lines, the cut lines a little bit easier. So if you're having trouble seeing where to pull up, maybe use that. Yeah. Just get yourself with some tweezers. Go slow. And then let me take the outside outline here. I'll just go around. Okay, so you can see I've had some trouble with the cut in certain places where it just got too fine. So here's definitely a problem area that doesn't look great. I'm going to see what I can do. I might cut off that bit. I might cut off that bit, and then when the template gets onto the screen, this part too, like you can see that these little lines here, they're too fine. So what I might do is cut off those fine little lines and then draw them with some blocking fluid onto the screen to block those. Other than that, those two kind of areas, it's looking pretty good. Filler. Okay, so this thing you could put on your screen and it will block out. So instead of a stencil, I can put on some fluid. And yeah, so I think I'll do that to the problem areas. But yeah, let's see how this thing goes. I'm gonna put on the transfer tape now. So we'll get some transfer tape. And I've got my squeegee over here. And mount this camera on here so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, puppy's gotta go out. Let me pause it. Okay, here we go. Actually, I'm gonna take. Oh, I don't have to. Alright. I'm gonna lay this kind of on here, like so. Oops. Let's get the ends. Two sheets because my tape isn't long enough. Just repeat it. Okay, and that's transfer taped. I'm going to peel this off of my little screen here, ever so gently. Give it to me, baby. Okay. And now it's time to apply on the screen. Okay, here's the screen. Okay, so I'm going to go side to side on this because it's quite a wide design. Sorry. So I peel this backing paper off and like watch this. So sometimes it doesn't stay on the tape, so you just gotta watch that when you peel off your backing paper. Yep. Okay, so the backing paper comes off, and throw that away. Okay, and then we're going to put this on my screen, hopefully in the middle, hopefully so it fits. And you'll see that, actually, let me get this on here. Okay, good. Okay, so here's a fiddly part, okay? Is taking the transfer tape off. Because the screen isn't super grippy. It's not super grippy. So, take your time with this step. This step is a bit fiddly, so you just take your time with it. Bit fiddly. See, it wants to come off, but we're just gonna go slow. And this is the last kind of hard bit. Oh gosh, those rifle lines don't look too bad on the screen there. They look quite nice. So keep on slow. Slow and steady is the right here. Yeah, keep your eye on things. Things start coming off, use your finger to go back and hold it down. And then up to this part like this. And then keep your eye on these little guys. Especially these little lemmings. Alright, so you don't want to hold up. You just want to stretch them in a lot of place. I'll just go slow. And you see like some of these things I'm missing today. I lost them I'll repair that. Don't worry too much about little mistakes. You can repair stuff like that. Right, I'm just going to do a little bit. I'll show you. It's not too bad. It's kind of pretty good. I really like this rifle. It's so much. It's so much better than I needed. Oh, yeah, I should have that. But can't get that lucky. Yes. It looks good. I'm supposed to. Oh, it's like the old. Let's come up with me. I know today. See down there. Nice. Oh. What is this? You don't want it. You got to want it. Yeah. Yeah. I tell you what. I feel like this is going to be a really good t-shirt. And it's really not cool. So I feel like I went through the trouble to just do a little TLC with it. Let's do it, thing. Down there. You guys can see. And then that'll be. You don't say. Let's see, I'm going to adjust that a little bit off sides. I also want this bar. Yep. And then this rifle bit here. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a little bit wonky. So, yeah, I love it. So I might cut that off. I love that bit, but. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so first it's off, I still got to do the second bit, and I've got some repair work to do, and that's alright. We'll take the second bit off. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The rifle's down. Yeah. And some loops and things. Real nice and easy. Real nice and easy. Really gentle like. So, one of the pros of using the emulsion method is you don't have to use a step, so. But the emulsion method is ample, so I'm going to use this through up too. So, the 10 minutes you spend doing this versus the day that you spend doing the emulsion method. I don't know, over this every week. Those days. How that goes. And just need those plates of gold. It's not easy to make t-shirts. It's not difficult, but if you're doing like a fiddly design, you can see that it's not like slime milk all the time. Alright, that looks like it's gonna look amazing though on a shirt. Okay. Alright, so there we are. We have got a really cool, we've got a really cool looking design here. And that is just gonna pop on a shirt. Really, really good. You can see there's a few areas that I want to make some repairs. I need to fill in that A. I need to adjust that P. Let's try to do that here. I'm just going to take my adjustments. And this R2 is a little bit ski with. B is a little bit ski with. Look, I'm not looking for perfection here. People don't notice that a lot on a shirt. But yeah, I will fill in that A and this R. And I think I'm going to cut those lines out. These lines look fantastic. But if I was to do this design over again, I'm going to turn those two thin lines into one line. And that's just going to take away that whole problem area. And another thing, I would clean up this area here in design land so that I'm not so fiddly on the design here. So, yeah. But we'll see how it goes. Print some shirts and see how it looks. Okay, so I've got it on there pretty good. So I'm happy with that. I'm just gonna make sure it's on there. So I'm just gonna rub the thing into it really hardcore. And get it on there. And then I'm gonna mask off the edges so that I'm not leaking, so the ink doesn't come off the sides here. So I just take some normal masking tape. I like to get some thicker masking tape because it makes this job a little bit easier. And then I just go right over. Don't get too close to the edge because it's ink and it can squeeze through, I find, after a little while. You can see here I've taped some coins to the bottom of this. Those coins help give you a little bit of clearance so that you can have this sitting after you're not using it and no ink will get through because it's just raised up just enough. And then when you ink it, you need to press down to get the contact, and that's also helpful for control, I think. Now for some repairs. Oh, this is another good tool to have a little X-Acto knife type thing on. And I'm going to use it to cut this little thing off. You know, the one line looks pretty good there. It's not perfectly straight, but I can straighten it. Let's see how that goes. That will look pretty good. And then the other thing I want to do is use some ink and fill in some holes here so that my letters don't look stupid. So your kit should come with this stuff. It's called screen filler. And what you do is wherever you paint, no ink's gonna go through. So I'm gonna take a little bit of it and I'm gonna paint a little manual A-hole. Oh, I just said A-hole, sorry. And an R-hole. And yeah, it's not gonna look ideal, but it'll look better than no holes. And it'll do the job. And other than that, I don't really think I'm gonna try to fix anything else here. I'm pretty happy with the way that this looks, so I'm just gonna let that dry and then we're good to print.